The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Milt is freaking today, militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another brand new Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure, that being the Star Wars The Vintage Collection 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, Moff Jerjerrod. The man with the funny name that I have so much trouble pronouncing. Let's take a look at the packaging this guy comes in. Of course, up at the top we have the nice blood red Return of the Jedi trades that we are so used to at this point. We also have the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary logo that we see there, and it's so dusty, what the hell. We have a nice picture of Jerjerrod at the bottom, looking very afraid of what Vader's going to do to him. We have the Kenner trades, as well as a blue pill for the backing of the figure, as well as the nameplate, of course, Moff Jerjerrod. On the back of the card, we have the other figures included in this wave. All of the large guys I will not be reviewing. Tusken Boba I will not be reviewing. Nine Numb, who I will not be reviewing, but I do have, because I needed to fill that gap. I didn't have that figure. Cad Bane, who I will be reviewing, and of course, Moff Jerjerrod himself, obviously. Down at the bottom we have some legal jargon, and that is about it. I say it in every single video, my friends. You only really care about the packaging if you're a card collector, of which I am not. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame.
This is how you cut a Zan cake.
Go all the way down.
Shut your bitch ass up, Obi-Wan.
Said all
Shut
the way
your
down.
bitch ass up. Obi-Wan, you's a bitch. Don't tell me what to do, master.
Freeze frame unfreeze. Here is the Moff, but before we take a look at him himself, we will take a look at his accessories. Of course, firstly, he has his Imperial hat, his officer's cap, which isn't exactly an officer's cap. There's a lot of enlisted ranks who have this, but of course he is an officer and he gets a removable hat, which does look a little bit oversized on him, but I'm not going to lie, I prefer to have the removable hats. I think that is really cool that he has one. It is a bit oversized, but it's okay other than that. And of course he has a blaster, and truthfully, I'm very good at identifying Imperial hardware, blasters and such like that. I have no idea what the fuck this thing is. I thought at first when I saw it was a DL44. It should be like an SE14R, or SE14C. But considering this is a 80s figure, I don't even know if Jerjerrod used a blaster in the entire film, but he comes with one, so yippee, I guess. So he can hold that. Of course, he has trigger finger on his right hand, which you can put the blaster in, and the hand is a little bit open, which is very funny to see. I don't know why it's fighting me so, but he can hold it, I promise. And of course, he has that down joint, so you can actually get him to straight arm it and gangster lean that shit. So if he wants to be on the streets of Tatooine, he can. But moving on to the Moff himself, we do have a very, very accurate likeness to Michael Pennington. Very good likeness. Probably one of the best I've ever seen in the line, at least. He does also have the paint on his rank indicator there for the Moff. Honestly, the Imperial rank system fucks with my head, and especially having Piet on the agenda to review next. I have no idea why the ranks do the things they do, because the rank system changes like every year. One thing I noticed is that his code cylinder here is not painted. Well, there's a little bit of paint on it, but not actually fully. The one on his left is a little bit misaligned, so I might actually have to touch that up myself. His belt is fully painted, and he also has the little greebly there, which is very nice to see. His uniform is clean, pressed, and just a little bit wrinkled, which I guess is contradictory, but it does look very good. And he has those high, knee-high boots that will cover his jodhpurs, which looks very nice, very prim and proper, very English. He also has black gloves to hold his weapons, and of course just in his free hand. But that is pretty much it for the details of the figure. Very plain, nothing on the back at all. And very nice sculpting for the tunic, but nothing fancy. For the articulation of this figure, we do have a very nice range of motion at the head. Unfortunately, he can kind of only do a little bit of the instance forward and none sideways, but he does have that double joint at the head so that you can get a nice range of motion. It's just that his neck is very thick, so getting that motion is kind of hard. He does have a full range of motion at the shoulder. It can go all the way out and all the way around, even though it's kind of guided by the way the tunic is shaped. He does have a pretty weak elbow bend. It only goes about 90 degrees, and a rotation and bend at the wrists on both hands. On the left, it goes in and out, and on the right, it goes up and down, as I mentioned earlier. This gun's being annoying. I'm just going to put it to the side. He has nothing at the waist proper, but he does have this sort of belt line joint, so he can get a little bit of a crunch in, do a little bit of his Imperial reps. He does have a little bit of clicking there, so maybe he has a slip disc or something. But he does have those very nice all jointed hips, which I love, and mind the angle here. So you can get a full range of motion at the hips, and of course there are slits down either side of the tunic, so you can get that articulation there. He does have a upper thigh swivel, which is great to see. A pretty weak knee bend, but it is there, as well as a toe up and down, as well as an ankle pivot at the boot. So overall, pretty good articulation. Not bad in the least. But I believe he is just, a sort of standard Imperial officer. Of course, this one is named. We love Jerjerrod, before he, fucking blew up. But kind of one of the more relatable Imperial officers of the movie, I should say. Before we talk about our final thoughts about what we think of him, let's get into a size comparison to show him next to some other Star Wars figures. Freeze frame.
You know what? Maybe. What if I didn't? What if I didn't run? What if I'm not a coward? What if I'm not gonna run away? What if I'm gonna stand right here? What if I'm gonna make my stand? Huh? What if I want to go toe to toe with whatever's gonna come through that door? What if I want them to get me? What if I want them to kill me? What if I want them to try?
Freeze frame on freeze. Here is Jerjerrod next to the man who gave him his job, or at least the man who makes him fear for it, Darth Vader, the golden standard of action figures himself. And next we have a Mandalorian of my own custom design next to Jerjerrod, and that's how they compare. And finally, here we have Jerjerrod next to our previous review, the Vintage Collection Bad Batch Hunter. So overall, he's pretty short, but considering these guys are all guys in armor, I'll take off Hunter's helmet to show you. He is pretty average sized for a guy of his position. Of course, this is the new Imperial Officer mold, which I believe is, getting that 4-pack and getting remolded into Piet and other figures. So it is nice to see Jerjerrod fully in his glory before, of course, he fucking blew up. So that's it for the size comparison. Let's get on to the final thoughts of what I think of this figure, and we can wrap this review up. Freeze frame.
So, let me go over this again. You want a Big Mac? A large Boke? A 6-piece Bicky Nugget? And 3 Boke-late Bip Bookies?
I'm blood. That's what I want. That's it.
Freeze frame on freeze. So overall, Moff Jerjerrod is a fine figure. He has pretty good detailing, although there are some, missteps on my copy. He has some great articulation, and like I said earlier, one of the best portraits of a character I've ever seen in plastic form. I am a fan of this new Imperial Officer mold, and I do hope that we get more people, such as Captain Nita, maybe Admiral Ozell, who is, I'll talk a little bit more about in Piet's review. Using the Piet mold, or the new Imperial Officer mold, I think we're going to be getting some great new figures out of this. So if you like Moff Jerjerrod, or you like the Imperial Army, the Imperial Navy, or any of the other Star Wars affiliated things, such as, the Return of the Jedi or Star Wars Vintage Collection, make sure you like this video, make sure you share it with your friends, share it with your Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me keep making this content, keeps helping the channel grow. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.